Hold on, the mat's coming. No, it's a little difficult with him. He's been on the show. All right.
How things going over here?
Not sure that's
Oh yeah, one pulled pork on the hot dog.
What is on that? Macaroni and cheese?
Shit.
Would you like a little bit of pretzel?
Hello, everyone.
Hey!
To
Big
RCBC.
dog. It's kind of,
Doggy's not here, obviously,
yeah,
not
but
dog.
usually kind of high. Hey!
Trying to get there. Thanks for coming out. This month we have Joe from Sloop.
Yeah!
Brewery that is putting out these awesome IPAs.
Yeah,
We have
Elizaville!
a couple stouts from them. I've never had a stout from them, so we'll have it together. And without further ado, I want to get hold of this. So I will hand it over to Joe.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's start being crazy. Took me 3 hours to get here. I hit some traffic. But thanks for everybody for coming out.
Thank you.
Everybody here had Sloop before, or at least knows something about Sloop? Cool. Well, thank you for that.
Been to your brewery.
What's that?
We've been up to your brewery.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. I know a couple people have. Well, the original location, so I'll kind of give a quick story on how we started. Justin Taylor is our head brewer and founder, and Adam Watson is our co-founder. Both of them started the whole thing up. They met at SUNY New Paltz. They were in college together. The story on the beer side really comes from Justin. So Justin's dad, Jim Taylor, was the first New York State homebrew champion of the Brewers Association, and he that was a while ago. I think '94. Maybe. And Justin, so Jim was brewing for a while at home. So he never really, he worked for IBM. Literally never started a brewery, nothing like that. It wasn't his career. It was just a hobby, and Justin started brewing with his dad at age 9. So learned a lot, and went to school to become a teacher, and then realized in school that he really liked beer a lot. So he said, Adam was a geologist, going to become a geologist at the time, and they said, let's start this thing. So Justin started brewing out of his garage in Poughkeepsie, and they started bottling the product and selling it at a local farmer's market in Beacon. So that started taking off, and people really enjoyed the beer. And through a mutual friend, we struck our first location. So that was back in 2011. Or 2012, we opened the Elizaville location. So that's our brewery, about an hour south of Albany, near Hudson, New York. So back roads really to get there. 150-acre farmland. Started by this fourth generation farmer, the Vosbergs. So Arnie Vosberg is still on site there. Apple orchards, all that stuff. And they had this space in this barn, and they said, we have a farm stand, and that's it. We have all this other space. So turned it into a brewery. We turned it into a tasting room and the brewery. Started brewing out of there in a 30-barrel system. And that really started taking off. So fast forward to about 2016. A little before that, we had this beer called Juice Bomb, and Juice Bomb was becoming very popular. It was a limited release beer. Decided to start doing it year-round in early 2016, and that put us to our new facility today. That beer really put us on the map. We do a bunch of different beers, sours, IPAs, obviously, stouts, but Juice Bomb really opened up our current facility. So we have 2 locations. The new brewery opened up in August. It opened to the public in September. Started brewing end of July. First batch came out in August. And it's 26,000 square feet. It's in East Fishkill. We took over an old IBM facility, and we added a lot of stuff there. So we moved our 30-barrel brew house down, the fermenters we have up there, and we added 1,220 barrel fermenters. So with that, we added a centrifuge now. So that's going to give you more consistent, still hazy beer. And we added a canning line. So we had a very old, I don't even know if you call it a canning line. It was basically a 2-valve system that Justin drove to Chicago and picked up, also that he got on eBay. And we were doing cans at the brewery only. Now we have cans out on the market. So we're doing 16-ounce cans. We invested in a Wild Goose 600. It can do 56 cans per minute. And then we're switching. Juice Bomb is going to be in 12-ounce can. Early 2019, along with we're bringing back our dry hop sour confliction. That will be a 12-ounce can. That will be 12-ounce cans at 85 cans per minute. Wrap 6-pack in the box. So cans are taking off. We started getting those out in September, and it's exploded. To give you an idea on the scale, we did 2017 did a little over 4,000 barrels at Elizaville on the year, and with this current facility, we'll max out at 28,000. So our production is going way up, getting more beer to everybody, and pretty pumped for that. So we're excited to get more beer into the area. Sure. So the first beer you're getting is the one I was just talking about, Juice Bomb. So Juice Bomb has been a really fun adventure, unfiltered, hazy, juicy. We call it Northeastern IPA. We're not in New England, so we don't call it New England. But Northeastern IPA, low bitterness, nice balance here. You don't really give out the hops that are in Juice Bomb, but obviously you can guess that Citra is the dominant hop in here. Nice tropical, fruity aroma to it as well. Really just, our industry has changed where I remember in 2010 selling beer and no bar would put more than one IPA lineup. That was just unheard of. Nobody likes IPAs, now look at this. So this is a beer that you still get those people out there that don't like, overly bitter beers, and this beer is a good introduction into that world. Nice, balanced, easy drinking, 6.5%, so you have your fair share of them. Funny story with Juice Bomb was we had the name trademarked, so we got it officially trademarked in 2016. Couldn't believe nobody else had a trademark, and that's been a fun ride. Because there's been some interesting, we don't run the type of people that sell like a cease and desist. We usually reach out and say, hey, that's, we kind of have a trademark on it. There's a brewery out west that literally had Juice Bomb on there. Those are going to sell it 6.5% in our exact description that we had on our website. So that was a fun situation. But beer's been huge for us. So we're distributed by Union Beer in the 5 boroughs. Their sister company, Craft New York, based out of New Paltz, they do Westchester, straight to the Canadian border, so they do 26 counties. They have a great portfolio. They have 30 of the top 50 breweries in the country. They have 140 breweries from around the world. And we were just sitting there brewing, not really paying attention to stuff. And in August, they reached out and they're like, you guys, their top 3 are Lagunitas, Bells, and Sierra Nevada. They're like, oh, your Juice Bomb just became our #1 selling draft beer. And they're like, and you guys are our #4 overall brand. And I'm like, I used to work there, so I was like, wait, what? There's all these other breweries in the portfolio. How did that happen?
Wow, you inhaled that.
Yeah. And it's just been a wild ride. There's a lot to do with this beer right here.
Yeah.
So, wow. Enjoy. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. So we're going pretty big, especially marketing-wise. We kind of rebranded the brewery a little bit. That's not Juice Bomb specific or anything, but sort of beer where I turn around and I keep blinking and it's like something else. We met with City Field the other day. They're like, we want cans next season. I got JFK report call. They're like, we're like 11 bars. It's just like blowing up. So many good beers out there, especially in New York, so many good breweries in New York. And we really come to work with all of them. We're good friends with Barrier Brewing, we're good friends with Pete Still. We've worked so well on collabs and all that stuff with the other guys, and it's been a huge success. And I think it's just gonna get bigger. So, questions on the brewery at all?
You guys are right across from Newburgh, right?
So we're right near there. So if especially if you guys want to take the train up, we're by Beacon. We're 8 minutes from Beacon. So you can take the Metro North to Beacon, a quick Uber to the new spot. Food scene has been amazing at the brewery. We got you guys ever hear of Uncle Goons in the village? We got the chef from there, head chef. He was there 4.5 years. Oddly enough, his wife is our tasting room manager, and she was head bartender at Sugarberg in Brooklyn for years. So they know beer, and they wanted to move out of Queens and head up to Beacon. So the food's been awesome. We got a wood gas fire pizza oven, and doing burgers, doing tacos, dan noodles. I mean, there's just some funky stuff on there, but it's been huge. And we've got a cool private event space. There's about 100 people. A lot of people that do private parties. If you have a chance to get there and check it out, it's really cool. We didn't call it the event space, so we called it the bomb shelter. Our bomb series and all the bomb years. So inside, our marketing with both spots has been fun because we now branded Elizaville as the barn, right? And the new location is the factory. So we kept a lot of the industrial look there that IBM had. And in the event space, We call it the bomb shelter, and inside, around the walls, there's a bunch of huge pictures of black and white photos of fallout shelters. So from like the 30s, and 40s, and 50s. And it's all black and white, but we put each one of our bomb beers in color, in cans, and put them in the pictures. So, you know, it's people stocking up on some goods with their family, and then there's like juice bomb 6-packs in the corner. So that's been fun. And we've been going from there. So it's really, it's a cool space. You guys should come check it out. Thursday through Sunday, we're open for lunch, and obviously dinner, so good stuff. Yeah.
So, because my grandmother's has a house in Twin Lakes. What are like your locally inspired brews? What are your locally inspired beers?
So, I think, in a sense of like what inspired us to kind of put these things together.
I think it probably started with just like the IPA craze. We had some different styles beforehand that we kind of discontinued. We did a red ale. We did a couple other things, and I think we started realizing Justin's true talent. He really threw it to the next level when we did Confliction. Our Confliction, the dry hop sour, that won us a World Beer Cup gold medal in 2016 in the sour category, and then started realizing we're not just IPAs. So that took off. We did a very popular, before I get to this beer, we did a very popular beer, actually, series that we started in June. So you're all looking behind me at NBA Jam, the arcade game. We all remember NBA Jam, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, we have that arcade game in our brewery, actually. So we got our hands on one. So we started a fruited lactose sour series. And we did 7 beers in the series. I think we just released our 5th one.
Wow.
And it's called Sloop Jam. And the label is pretty much the NBA Jam. And nobody's sued us yet, so if anybody works for EA Sports, please don't say that. But, so each beer is different, you know, each one's a different fruit focus, right? So we just use 2 different fruits in there. The first one was Razzle Dazzle, and then it started taking off, and it really showed, you know, from downtown is it the shoes, Boom Chocolato was the second one we did. And it really took off, and that's when we started realizing, you know, Justin and the rest of the group and house staff can do a bunch of different things. And I think it's something for us in 2019 that we're just going to go on. We're going to do a rotating lager. We did a Hoppy Pills brewery only a couple of weeks ago. This takes some great. We're going to do a house lager next, and then next year we'll have a rotating sour and lager series coming out. Bring back some of the double IPAs and things like that. So I'm pretty pumped. This is my favorite. Probably top 3 favorite beer. Cloud Jumper right here. Cloud Jumper is awesome. It's very unique. Again, along with the Northeastern hazy juicy style.
Which one is this?
Cloud Jumper is specifically with Australian
Which one is this?
And yeast. So this beer kind of is inspired.
This is Cloud
along
Jumper?
with the next beer. Justin started getting into some
Yep.
things.
Ooh, excuse me.
The way things go in the industry is obviously hop contracts. So when you can get your hands on some stuff, you better lock it in a few years in advance. So he made sure, you know, some of the Australian and New Zealand hops were locked in for a couple different years. He really loves working with them. You never know when there's going to be a shortage. So you sign these contracts. I worked at Bell Brewery for almost 3 years. And there was a scare at one point where there was a Centennial hop shortage, and 2 artists, 100% Centennial hops. So I remember it was like 911, here's our #1 selling beer, and we're about to get screwed. So our head brewer went and like locked in contracts for 12 years. He's like, we got Centennial. So I mean, he went crazy, yeah. But he sourced it from all different places. So we got, you know, Yakima Valley, obviously, we work with a couple different people. And wherever we can source it, we source it. But that even in that situation, the beer you're drinking here is unique, obviously, like I said, but you're starting to see a little bit of congestion there. We wanted to release our 12-ounce cans in September, and we're not releasing it until January. There was a 12-ounce can shortage. with all four major can manufacturers.
Really?
Printed 12-ounce cans.
Down.
And that was crazy because we signed contracts in January. Said this is how much we want. This is how much we're expecting to do in 2019 and the rest of this year. And there was no beers in cans. More and more you're going to see. It's crowded out there. Anybody know how many breweries are in New York alone?
40.
At least. More than that.
New York City, 38.
More than that. A couple of hundred, I think. The last time we checked, because technically, there's people that are brewing out of their garage that have a license.
They count?
Yeah, I mean, technically they count. If you have a brewer's license, that falls under that. So it's growing, and each state's growing more and more. We're in 5 states now. When we go to another state, when we go to Massachusetts, it's so different from New York, but they're still saturated. Pennsylvania, I was shocked. We launched Philadelphia, Eastern PA a few weeks ago, and the amount of breweries there is insane. And I work like Allentown, PA, and every corner is a brew pub. There's a small brew, and it's just, our distributor was telling me, they're like, it's just crazy to keep up with. We can't keep up with everyone popping up. So beers like this, gradually you're going to have to, we talk about it all the time. We have like a 4-year plan, and we said, what dictates what we do? The market dictates it, right? So if you guys just stop drinking IPAs, we're not going to do IPAs. So our owner, our head brewer, Justin, was like, just argument, 3 years from now, what if Juice Bomb is just, what if the style is just gone? He's like, I don't think it's going to be, but what if it is? And I was like, be careful. I said, Juice Bombs are number 1 now. There could be a beer in our portfolio or a beer we haven't even made yet that could go to our number 1. And we saw that at Bell's, Amber Ale was the first beer Larry Dollar brewed. And then Too Hard was a limited release. And everybody was freaking out. They Too Hard, and Too Hard, and Too Hard. Too Hard became the flagship beer. Post 2000, it's still a limited release. So it's interesting to see. But we try to stand out and we try to do some funky stuff and little by little get there. So everybody lives locally in Western, right? Yeah, right here. I'm in Westchester. I'm not that table there. I'm not too far. You're right there. Oh, that's you. I drove here and I was like, I'm leaving at 4. I left the brewery at 4. I'm like, I gotta find it. And I don't know why I'm thinking. I don't know why I thought. I was like, welcome to New York. Yeah, right? I've only lived here my whole life, and I'm like, and I know. I go to Staten Island a lot. I guess you guys go there. I live next to the Metro North too, so I'm always treated into the city. I should have taken the train. I'm in Larchmont. I'm in southern Westchester. So it's not bad. On the way home, it should be bad. Oh, I say that now.
Thank God you did it tonight.
I know.
Last week, it would have been like 12 hours to
What's the
get down
name?
here.
It would be a name.
No, you wouldn't even have been here.
No, I would have. I would have Skyped in. I almost did that today. I'm like, I'm not going to make it, so I'll probably Skype in. You would see me on the screen. So, yeah, we can put it on video. Next up is our Down Under bomb. That's where these hops come from, obviously. Australia. Australia, New Zealand, Galaxy, Tuco, there are 2 of the hops in here. We did this beer, again, along with that haze side of it.
Wow.
Sort of the flavor out of here is sort of kind of like a passion fruit aftertaste I get normally. But this beer is actually another one. These are the only 2 beers that we really utilize the Australian and New Zealand hops in. Adam likes, or Justin, I should say, likes to use Galaxy a lot as well. We do a Galaxy bomb. Yeah.
Galaxy is so hard to come by at the homebrew level.
I know.
It sucks.
It's really become hard at the brewery.
It's the best. I think it's the best.
I think it's one of the best ones. Because we source it, obviously, for this beer. And then we also do Galaxy Bomb. This is one of our single Bob IPA series that we do. And Galaxy Bomb, we do that like. It's interesting because some breweries, I brought the Bell's mentality to Sloop, but I met with a distributor and they were like, guys act like a very big brewery for such a small brewery. Because we put up a presentation and I had like a production schedule. And he's like, no brewery your size has a production schedule for the entire year. It's like, really just so we can source, hard to find, you know what I mean? That we have to do these contracts. So we're getting into the double dry hop series that we do. So, DDH, Galaxy Bomb, and that hop specifically is very, very common. And I have a friend who, he's a really good friend of mine. I don't know if you've ever met, you guys might have seen him somewhere, John Siegel. He actually lives in Westchester too. He owns a Siegel hop ranch. He's a third generation hop farmer. And he's out in the Pacific Northwest. He lives here, he goes out for the harvest. And we've gotten hops from him, Lagunitas, Bell, Sierra Nevada, they're really big customers of his. And, I ask him all the time, I was like, what are you doing? And he'll joke with me, really fun guy, really cool guy. You look at him, you're like, this guy's really nerdy, And then he's like, you want a hop farm? He's like a millionaire too. He's like, what do you do? Like, where do you go from here with the hops? He's like, Joe, I got a solution to that. He's like, I'm now growing marijuana. And I was like, damn, I wish I was you. But so same family. But he said, he's like, you just got to get ahead of it. And he's got a great team at his farm over there. And speaking to him directly, a lot of these things are tough to find, or harder to find, I should say. But like anything, look at the cans, Most
It's such a
importantly,
weird thing to be short on.
so weird.
And that as a result of the tariffs that were put on aluminum.
Well, somebody the other day goes, "Oh, I blame Trump," and I'm like, that's not what happened. But this was a little bit before that. We knew it was coming. We reached out. We called the second we were told we're not getting our cans. We called Scott McCarroll.
Trump.
I tweeted Trump, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
You promised.
You promised us cans. We called them. Our office manager started, we do Instagram and Facebook a lot. Our Twitter kind of went dead. She's like, oh, I'm bringing back Twitter. She's like, where's your event tonight? Can you send me the poster? I want to tweet it. And she started tweeting. And I was like, you're turning into the president. Stop. One tweet a day, I think, is sufficient for everybody. That's a good example of how fast it's growing. I mean, it's grown, obviously, the industry, but...
What?
Cans. I spoke to the owner of one of the largest can manufacturers, and he said to me, he's like, we needed to see this coming.
Wow.
Because you literally went from craft beer, boom, hit, right? And then a lot of bottled beer, craft. Other than Oscar Blue, there's no craft brewery to do a can at the time, And then all of a sudden, the light switch went on and everybody did cans. And nobody did bottles. And I don't think they were prepared for that. And I think you got the big guns of Bud Light, Coors Light, obviously their can business is in their can business, but nobody anticipated this. And they're getting ahead of it. We reached out when it happened. We called Scott Vaccaro, owner of Captain Lawrence, and we were like, he was like, every year it happens at the same time.
Really?
Summer, yeah. It's like every year we just go.
Brewers open up your own can.
I know. That's next. I'm trying to get us to do it, but no, but now. So the funny thing is, we opened up. We had a contract. Yeah,
It'll be better.
it'll be a good thing. We have a contract with Crown as our can manufacturer. We signed it in January, and I had to give them sales and projections. And what do you think you're going to sell in 2019? And I was like, well, I hope enough that I can retire in 2019. But they didn't like that answer. But they went dry, and then my buddy is the president over at Boylan's Soda, and they have a line that they actually source in Canada. This guy, Ardon. So I talked to the owner of Ardon for like an hour on the phone, and he's like, I can get you cans. We're doing the print, the printed can, so it takes a little while. So turnaround is about 7 weeks, and it's like, they have to send you back the label.
I'll have a number
UPC
4.
code. Does everything look good? So you have to sign the physical can and send it back to them. because they're producing so many of them, it has to be perfect, right? So, of course, he's like, I got your cans coming in 2 weeks. This was 2 weeks ago. We got a call last week from Crown, so we have 2 contracts open. Crown's like, we got your Juice Bomb, Affliction, and Super Soft printed, and they're shipping next week. So it's like, now we have too many phones. So it's a good thing. So gradually we'll see a change. Up next is chocolate milk bake.
Ooh.
So we started a stout series a couple of years ago. Kind of when we started branching out from IPAs. So we call it our half-baked series. Yes, it's a marijuana reference. We started our half-baked series. And,
ET1 weed.
It's 3 stouts that we do.
Ooh.
It's oatmeal stout. So this one right here is called chocolate milk baked. And the other day my girlfriend said she hates the name, so I said thank you. Chocolate milk baked is a pretty popular one. So this beer was one of the first stouts we ever did. It's toasted chocolate grain.
Ooh.
And it's then rested on cocoa nibs.
Wow.
So what?
Cocoa nibs.
So you're getting sort of our cans. I don't know if anybody has seen the can art for we release a very limited amount of.
It really doesn't taste like coffee.
It's literally a pint glass with chocolate milk in it. So oddly enough, we got that approved. They gave us a problem about Juice Bomb. Federally, they're like, well, you have to write doesn't contain juice on it. I'm like, I don't think a kid's gonna buy a 6-pack of a Juice Bomb and think it's, whatever. So chocolate milk bags, you're supposed to, we call it an adult chocolate milk. So you're supposed to kind of get that mouthfeel that
It's really nice.
On your tongue a little bit after you take a few sips, but popular beer, you like that? Awesome. Popular beer we do. So they are
Down under.
So
All right,
basically,
All right, we have a bit of steak and shrimp on the barbie.
First did it 2 years ago. We would say rusty and like bourbon bean bakes when they come next. They're pretty much like that's bourbon. That's not bourbon barrel. So everybody gets confused. Those are coffee beans resting in bourbon. So this is kind of reverse. So when he starts off, the cocoa nibs are sort of resting in the chocolate. He puts this like toasted chocolate grain together, and he'll do that separately before anything started. So he put kind of yeah. So he did this with he did a collaboration beer with Heat Skill, I think.
Ooh.
Peace just celebrated 10 years, I want to say 4 years ago. And the brewer there at the time was kind of doing the similar method. Well, now he's at Industrial Arts. I don't know if you guys know him. He was the head brewer there.
Industrial Arts?
35 minutes. So they kind of did, it's like a pre-thing for, it's a fun beer tour.
It's great.
It's a fun beer tour. But it's sort of done separately then. It's an odd process though. Like I saw him doing, he did the bourbon bean bake, which we'll get to next. I mean, I can talk about it now, but everybody's like, oh, you guys are starting a barrel aging program, which we're going to start. We don't have a barrel aging program right now, so everybody thinks that's a stout aged bourbon barrels. It's a company he struck a relationship with. The actual coffee beans are sitting in bourbon. So it's a little bit unique, It's a little bit of a different thing.
Oh.
Open up, like we literally order these things by the pallets, right? And they come and it's like you go to the store and you want to grind your own beans, that little bag that folds over, that's how they come. And you open that up and it's like bourbon right in your face. It's crazy. But that's a pretty cool, that was kind of a unique thing when you started doing that. Because the bourbon, bourbon stouts, anything like that has been, around for a little bit.
Can you brew
really good at it.
Can you brew coffee with those coffee beans, or is it like no?
You can just make straight coffee with those beans.
Will it have like alcohol in it, or is it just kind of like a taste?
It's more of a flavor thing at that point, but it is.
So it's not like instant Irish coffee.
No. But I mean,
That would be great though.
it is overpowering. Like,
Whoa.
I think once obviously it's brewed in the stout, the oat milk stout, it's a little bit different.
But brewed as coffee is really overpowering.
We're actually starting our barrel aging program.
Ooh.
So now we have Elizaville, that location, the tasting room's still open.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't have any equipment in here. All the stainless steel was moved. So
Oh.
we're like, what are we going to do here? And I think we're getting our hands on some bourbon barrels.
So you're gonna put
New
the-
York distillery, and
So you're gonna add that to Elizaville?
yeah, so we'll bring him down to the new location. He's gonna whip up a recipe for a new stout. Probably start putting some sours in there as well, and let those puppies sit. But we're gonna let them sit up in Elizaville. So
That makes
brewing
perfect
and
sense.
Filling will be done down at the production facility, and then we transfer them. Right now we get a weekly transfer. We brew beer and we have to get it up to the other spot. First we forgot about it. This new shiny brewery, and we're like, oh wait, we're still in business there. But everybody was freaking out when we opened the new spot. We have a lot of locals, and we have a lot of people from Albany, from the capital region. They would come to the new spot, but they want to still go to Elizaville. It's two different experiences. I enjoy it. The drive isn't great. For me, it's about an hour and 40 minutes. But at night, when it's a clear sky, every star in the sky.
It's beautiful.
The middle of nowhere, large, farmland, and then this new spot is pretty cool. We were the first tenants to go into this big complex. iPark is a company that's
I think I know where it is.
around the country. So it's gonna sort of be like an adult playground, sort of.
Ooh.
They want to add a distillery. They want to add a restaurant. They just got a gym. So this is this giant complex, right?
Wow.
Everything's separated. I don't know if anybody knows Drink More Good. It's a soda company. They're vegan. They make pretty good sodas. They make some syrups, all that stuff. So he's next door to us. And then Kazini is a global Italian night company. And they sell their nights to chefs around the world. And they have 27,000 square feet. So a lot of these guys are really going in there doing more folks for manufacturing, production, and some cool fun stuff that we going in. So when you come to Sloop, it won't just be the brewery, it will be like concert venue here or there. So.
Wow.
Yep.
So, my grandmother lives right like 5 minutes away from your Elizaville location. Since moving your brewing location to a different location, have you had to like adjust to the water?
Good question.
Because where my grandmother lives, I don't know what it's, even though I know you guys are like 5 minutes away, and that could be a totally different source of water, because I know where my grandmother's house gets the water, it's from something kind of natural, so sometimes it kind of has, like you'll take a shower and you'll get like that kind of funny smell of the water.
Yeah.
It's not, thank God it's not as bad as going to like Florida. I went to Disney World in 2017. You took a shower and it just smelled like eggs.
I'm from Fort Lauderdale.
It's so bad. It was so bad, and it was like you drink it and it would taste bad, and I'm like, and it's like, is this why you hear so much about Florida man doing something crazy? Because it's just in the water.
And even with the measures, that's a good question, because the measures you take, so Elizaville was a very tough, between distributors sending a trailer to pick up large drops of beer.
Yeah, because it's a dirt road.
In the dirt road, it's on a farm with the ground being covered in ice. It's a little bit tough to load that truck.
Middle of nowhere.
Logistically, it's tough. With our new spot, we have 2 loading docks that come equipped with this spot, and then off 84, there's literally 2 lanes dedicated to trailer exit.
Wow, that's nice.
The IBM spot, Global Foundries is on site there now. We have the Department of Defense next to us.
Oh.
Yeah, which they love us. We put up DirecTV. We had to get approval. I literally said to the guy, I was like, we're not sending, we just want football. We're not sending, secrets to Russia right now. This is satellite dish. So we had to hide it. Oddly enough, next door is a company called Imagine. Imagine, you guys are going to think I'm lying and completely making things up. I'm a very honest person. I tell the truth. If they're not in business, if there's a power outage and for every 10 minutes they're not in business, they lose $10 million. So what Imagine does, our complex is basically Stranger Things. So when you go in there, there's literally clean rooms. There's the other day, this guy comes in, he goes, "Do you have lunch hours?" And he had a full white suit on with a mask. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And what are you doing? Looking for ET. Imagine makes night vision goggles in the military. So a pretty cool gift they gave us. They gave us a pair of night vision.
So does Imagine make microchips?
Imagine.
Imagine makes microchips?
Yeah, they do that too. They do a lot of stuff. They actually, one of the employees came over for a beer and they're like, "Oh, well," I go, "What else do you guys do?" And he's like, "I can't say." Okay. But with the water question, Elizaville was very tough. We did the same thing there. We had a water filtration system.
They have a lot of lime over there.
Yeah, you have to treat the water. But the brewery, the number one thing to do, and I mean, I'm not going to say anybody by names, but there's breweries, smaller breweries starting up in the country that don't do any water tests.
Ooh.
The facility they're going to use, which is the worst thing, because it's like, obviously beer is water is beer, and this is
They
going out to how many
call
people.
that Anheuser-Busch piss.
Yeah, so it's about $5,000 to do a water.
I never heard of that until just
Tests
now.
Over 1,000 different bacteria. It tests for everything. So our new spot, we did a water test. We paid for it and all that, and we're in East Fishkill, but our water comes from the city of Poughkeepsie.
Okay.
So it's underground pipe throughs from Poughkeepsie. But yeah, you test it for everything. It comes back perfect. It's like, all right, now we can make beer. Number one thing you should test for before you even sign a lease, right?
Like Michigan, like Flint, Michigan.
Right, exactly. So that was a good question, but yeah, the water. I mean, we're big on that. We luckily found a spot that we source really great water from. So water is important.
Even Pepsi.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
you get that from a different location.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So other than that, though, I mean, we're up and running. I think sky's the limit.
Yep.
And we're pumped. And we're pumped to be here, obviously. That was our last beer? Bourbon Be Big, yeah. So I talked about it already. I love that screen. That's
Is that you with that man?
I love it. I'm going to take a picture. I might steal the idea. No, but honestly, come by. I mean, it's awesome. Yeah.
Quick question. So, I just want to know, because I've been there several times. Your Elizaville location, that little farm place, there's a stream that's literally right next to you guys. And like really bad rain, has it ever gotten like scary? Like flooding?
It is. There's a couple of septic tank issues.
Oh no!
But the property is just. I mean, it's just impossible. You have houses around you. The closest town is Hudson, New York. It's 13 minutes away, and it's just.
And in the other direction, it's Red Hook.
Yeah.
It's
the other way.
It's you guys are really in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but if you're brewing beer,
it's not.
I mean, these guys, our brew staff, we brought on an assistant brewer who spent a few years at Omegang, and he came over, and him and Justin kind of knew each other for a while, and he had a very brief run at brewing in Elizaville. But when we opened up this place, I mean, everybody was like, this is the best thing on the planet. This is just so tough. Those guys have the hardest job. I really have a hard job. To go out and drink beer. And speak to people, but they have a tough job. I mean, we're brewing around the clock now. And the challenges of the Elizaville spot were really hard. I mean, we're talking a significant storm power zone.
Every time.
I mean, every time. I mean,
Every
literally, and that place got
You can
nailed.
just sneeze.
Yup.
And the goddamn power goes out.
Everything. I mean, things going all the time, water, sitting in the bathrooms, I mean, like everything, like pipes freezing.
Yeah, but everything's on electric up there. So like,
Well, some, but
I mean, like-
there's some that, there's an old farmhouse on the site too, and that's all. It's not a convenient place to live.
no.
Spring and summer different, but winter, it's pretty tough. This
What I
spot's
have to say though, I'm going to go, they do know how to treat the roads for the most part.
Yeah.
Compared to New York City, when the soccer did last Thursday, it was a hot mess.
Yeah.
So,
No, but it's definitely
stop it.
it's a good change of pace, so we're happy. We're ready to come. Any more questions? Yeah. Yeah. We're changing it up. He's switching up some.
I gotta pee.
Houses is primarily what we do with all the beers across the board. He did something.
I need more coins.
What?
I
need more coins.
In,
I know.
No, I was just saying, I need more coins.
I know you.
But we did one for their 10th anniversary. That was about a month ago.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Justin's just constantly experimenting. I think you're going to see a lot of different things coming next year. He's the type of guy, I can't get him to commit. So I get him to commit to a 2019, these are the beers coming out every month. It's like, yeah, I'm like, you don't understand. He needs to be set in stone. Because we just got beer, we have Wegmans, we got Total Wine. I was like, I can't tell these folks.
Distribute more than people are.
Justin's going to call him audible. He does it all the time. It's like, instead of Cocoa Bay next week, it's going to be, I'm like, you can't do that. Like, you can't just switch it. So he's still going to do that's what he loves. He's like an artist, so he's still going to do stuff that he's going to just whip up. And he's constantly thinking ahead. I think he's a good guy, and we're constantly in communication with each other, just, what next? I mean, what do we see now? Brewed IPA, right? You're seeing a lot of those out there.
Came out with one.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
You're seeing, it's just, what's going to be next, I think. When I started in beer, I worked for Union Beer in 2010. That's when I started, and West Coast IPA was the thing. I was selling Sculpin, Green Flash, West Coast, and Lagunitas. Those are my three. And then Union, when Firestone came, and then Union Jack. And those are the only beers I sold. I remember Blue Point had, Optical Illusion. An IPA from New York? No. I wanted the stuff from the West Coast. Stone, that's all I sold. And now, it's funny, because I talk to my friends who work for those breweries, and I'm like, our numbers are just dropped in New York because of you assholes. All the breweries, I'm just like, yeah, you're sending beer, it gets here 30 days later, it's like the Oregon Trail. But they still make awesome stuff. We're collabing. That's the other thing before I let you guys go. We're doing a couple of big collabs. We're going out to McKellar, San Diego in January. So that's a fun one. We struck a conversation. I went out last year to Copenhagen. If anybody's ever willing to travel to Copenhagen for the McKellar's Festival, it's insane. I did last year. We're going again this year. We struck a conversation. Just a relationship with those guys. We're sending beer. They're getting their third order this year to McKellar Bangkok. They did a Sloop event. And a little funny story. Mikkel, basically his right-hand guy, is running the Bangkok operation, and we became pretty close. And he's like, when you send the beer, can you please, we had to ship it to McKellar NYC, and then they fly it over, So he's like, can you send some t-shirts? They did a Sloop event. They did a 12-line Sloop event. And he's like, are you guys coming for it? I was like, no. I was like, I want to, but I'm not going to Thailand tomorrow. So he's like, can you send some t-shirts? So I told the guys in the brewery, it was like, hey, when you're packaging their stuff, you just throw like 20, 30 t-shirts on there. Like, yeah. So I guess our packaging manager threw XXX and XXX t-shirts. And he emailed me and he goes, just want to say thank you, the beer's tasting awesome, the event was great, and just for future reference, nobody in Thailand did XXX or XXX. He's like, can you send some mediums and smalls next time? I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, and then he saw pictures from the event they're posting on Instagram, and it's like literally like 2 people fitting in one shirt. It's so sad. But no, we're gonna brew a beer. We kind of have the recipe out with them, but we're gonna brew a beer in January with them, and then they'll be back with it. I encourage dirt cheap to fly. It's $3.99 round trip. That's what I paid for our flight to Copenhagen. I mean, it's dirt cheap to get there, and it's not an expensive city, and the festival is wild. So
what time of year is it?
that happens in May. So this year is May 10th and 11th. Tickets went on, they sell out immediately, but it's just people from all around the world. And it's really cool to see. I mean, you know, some guy trying to talk to me owns a bar in Russia, and he's like, I want juice right now. But we just signed with an exporter. So we have a drop going to South Korea.
So is that a container with kegs in it?
Yeah, so I purchased their one-way kegs, their key kegs. So basically, the company we were using last year, it's one use and then it's done. So I purchased about like 80 of them, like consistently, and then McKellar kind of, you know, we'll send it to their bars around the world. They're their own exporter. So all we have to do is just get it to, you know, New York City, and they take care of everything from there. Our exporter is, oddly enough, South Korea is a very big craft beer market.
Really? Wow.
And we're getting a drop end of December out there, and then January is starting to spread it all through Europe. So for us, it was a big thing with quality. A lot of our IPAs have a 90-day shelf life right now.
Yeah.
So that's for, you know, obviously Justin wants everybody. When we were going into the market with cans, I'm like, we need to put a shelf life on it. He's like, all right, 20 days. I was like, no, that's not happening. So, yeah, so, you know, we do a lot of quality control tests and stuff, but my biggest, and we'll see, my biggest concern is, you know, sending beer to Europe. You know, we really asked the guy we're dealing with, it's like, you know, how are you tracking it? He has a relationship with all the big spots across Europe and in Korea. It's just a matter of, by the time, you know, the turnaround's not bad. He gets it out there. And then it's just once it's there, it's kind of, you're not with a distributor over there. There's nobody pulling sales numbers. So it's like, he doesn't have that software. So he's like,
Where do you go?
I'll keep track of it. I was out in Amsterdam.
Leonardo.
You know, went to a bar and it was like all American craft beer on tap. But some stuff was like, you know, Anderson Valley fall season from a year ago. You know, so like, I just, you don't want somebody out there and having, you know, a 2-year-old juice bomb. But we'll see.
I mean, like, when you say like that, like also too, like, are they keeping it chilled? Does it matter whether it's?
Yeah, so our packaging, when you guys see it go out there, it says store cold, drink fresh. I was talking with the distributor today. It's just like, we're testing it constantly. I mean, I'm so crazy with quality control that all summer, like, I'll take a can of juice bomb and leave it underneath the seat of my car for 3 months, and then open it up to see how, you know, survive. And I think it's important because, you know, when you get it out now, I'm getting approached by, first conversation we're having, like, we got Wegmans, all the Hannaford supermarkets.
You don't know who's.
Well, yeah, it's like, can we store this cold? First priority is the IPAs. Anything else, it's like, no, it's fine. But IPAs, we're seeing it with Juice Bomb already. I mean, I walked into a spot the other day, but they go through, if you're going through beer fast, we don't mind it being warm, but I had 15 cases stacked, you know, on his floor. But I think, you know, we're so new to the chain business like that. You know, Wegmans is in the cooler and warm. So I kind of don't want to tell Wegmans no. And then our distributor called today. He's like, Trader Joe's wants to put a juice pump in, but you know Trader Joe's is cold storage. It's all in warm. So He's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, and it's kind of like a trial run. I was like, let's do it, you know. I mean, our fans and customers, they reach out to the brewery all the time.
The only thing is, if it's not
anything.
if it's warm and it's kept warm,
It's just better to keep it cold.
that's just it.
Yeah, the
And you
idea
don't
is
want it to get
specifically
out there
this
like,
time.
oh, nobody does, you know,
Yeah.
everybody, and enough people buy from Trader Joe's.
Right. And then the toss-up is, you know, we gotta figure something out, right? They gotta store the cold in the back and then put it out on the shelf, and every time they sell it, but
I mean, we had gone to the Elizaville location, and we had gotten 2 juice bombs, and we had gotten it towards the end of August. We brought it home cold because we had like a little bag to keep it cold, and we kept it cold in the car. We kept it cold in our fridge, and we had opened it a couple months later. It's fine. It was fantastic. We got this beer from Boston, Massachusetts, and
We kept it cold.
we kept it cold. We opened it up. I had never experienced a stale beer until that point,
right.
and experiencing a stale beer was quite terrible, and I don't want to experience it again.
Yeah. It's tough. Every brewery deals with it, large or small. I mean, the quality control thing, you know, we've invested a lot of money in our quality control, and we have to.
Like chill it and then
Warm it up.
No. Yeah, absolutely. Tell your story to maybe a giant walking, I mean, probably the size of this place, walking cooler, you know. And it's like, you know, that's where we store our hops and we store our packaged beer. And it's packaged, it goes in there. So it's crazy. It's saturated. You want to make sure your beer is being treated well. So that's the first conversation we have. You know, we want to put our beer in your store. We want our beer in your store. You have to follow.
How you do it?
Yeah.
I was thinking too about a lot of those California fires, and I was kind of hoping that they did not destroy a lot of hop farms.
Right.
Because, you know, like, if you go out west, because my cousin lives out west, and they've got Pacific and all those other places and Pelican, and, you know, and we were out there going, you know, with our flagship cars and with our, and, you know, I'll take anybody's card and just like, if I'm going anywhere, I will be happy to spread the word.
Yeah.
And but while we were out there, I'm just thinking, oh my good grief, it's like, God knows.
So, yeah, I know. It's crazy. And it's preparing for things like that. You know, you can't prepare for that. That's the problem. But hopefully everybody's turned out here okay. Any questions? Anybody else? No? Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Beer. And go visit the brewery.
Yeah, 3 hours from here? Yeah, 3 hours. I would say GPS originally was a little over.
About 2.5 if you want to get up to Elizaville.
But I would say you see the train weekend, like, yeah.
Oh, no,
We have a couple hotels, the Hilton and the Marriott, I would say. We have the only
You want to give them what? I
Give them the sleep
can't
rate.
even I can't play. You have
Yeah,
to
they
get
didn't discount it in
even
rent,
drinks
so,
on that.
yeah, so they're only 5 minutes over. So, how about BW bus rate?
Drake, what, he plays better than that?
Take pictures of photos, this is where we go to Lord. Yeah. We finally make it.
What?
It's called, my buddy runs it. You'll kill Otter Creek.
Oh, he wants both of you to help him
They're
play.
like texting me that they're leaving Millhouse, I think it was. And he's like, we're on our way. And I was like, why did you save us for the bus? And the bus pulled up and they're just going on. Yeah, we are on the bus. We are 5 different breweries. I'm like, people like, I'm not drunk enough to deal with it. But come on, you know, you can hit us up on. If you hit us up on our website,
Use advice
section
in the
where it says
choo-choo or the
wholesale
bomb
retail
over
questions,
from there.
that goes to my inbox. So email that. Let me know your come in.
If we were to take the train to Beacon,
Hello, my turtle.
is that close to the train?
Oh yeah, so you can take the metro north to Beacon.
You walk?
No, you can't. It's an 8-minute car ride. It's not bad, but
Little
10 minutes.
kids.
But you have
That
to get on
upstage
the board.
football the other day.
Put your bike on that.
Uber's like $5.
Needs, but he said, I like, we was just walking up on the stage with the Hop Shoppe and he was best bishop, and like, they just took it in stride.
So, yeah, I mean, it's awesome. So it's like a cool little, you know, a lot of Brooklyn transplants within Beacon, but it's a really cool town. So, I recommend definitely getting that up on your way over. But I'll just keep, you know, on our social media. We're gonna get into some really cool events. I talked to a couple of chefs in like Manhattan. Our chef wants to do. We're gonna be doing like ticketed beer dinners at the brewery, where we pair a New York chef with a New York brewery, and our chef works with our beer, and we do like a cool beer dinner.
Very nice.
So that's we're gonna set up 4 of them next year. So I'm in the process of talking to a couple of chefs, talking to the breweries.
Forget about vacuuming.
Eventually, the site wants to do a beer
i7
festival.
Plus with clean base automatic dirt disposal empties the Roomba bin for you, so dirt is off your hands. If it's not from my robot, it's not a Roomba.
Alright, awesome. So next up we have Jack Rabbit from Framingham, Massachusetts. Maybe somebody ready. We'll find out now. But Jack Rabbit has really good beers to drink. And thank you for coming down to the Hop Shoppe. Also, if you haven't checked it out from the public, go check it out. I'm over there too. We have the beer too. Say hi to Eric, our executive chef. He's pumping out some great specials. And another
geistliche Sehnsucht.
Thank you so much for coming out.
We'll get you over to the brewery. Yeah.
Tissues like the coldest
Yeah, oh, for sure. For sure.
Is it a simple website?
Very simple. We just redid it.